Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis update of uranium. And I was looking at some of the charts. I'm getting more positive on it. I know that we came to the downside today. Most people, they see price movements and they think negative. What I look for is momentum. I look for how momentum is changing throughout the days. So that's what's valuable to me. It's not necessarily the price, the resultant of the price. I mean, a down day is a down day. A lot of people, they let that impact their emotions because their account values went down. But I'm looking at the momentum changes, and that's really what's going to project what future movements are going to come. And that's why I got kind of negative when they came out with this news. And the markets had so much momentum behind it to the downside. It's like, this is going to take some time to work its momentum off, at least a week or something like that. But if the fundamentals don't support the news, we could see this thing kind of start turning around. And I'm hoping that we can get a little bit of momentum reversal here. And I'll show you in the charts what that looks like. I'll give you my opinion, obviously, and it's just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. But let's dive in here. This is the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are below. We're kind of sitting here. It's in this indecisive mode. We can zoom in here. Again, this one, we did have some selling going on over here. Not too much buying pressure yet. It could still sell off, but in some of the companies, I was seeing some strength. I'll go over what that looks like, but that's what it looks like for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. Looking at URNM, coming down here, let me kind of go to a 1 year. Here's a 1 year. We were coming on down. We've got a little wick at the bottom. At least we're kind of putting some effort in here. We're still seeing this volume kind of decline on the pullback. That is good. We are making our way a little bit lower. We do have, I'm going to draw some trend lines in here. We've got some trend lines. If I just kind of connect it through here, kind of below us here, kind of coming through there. So we do have some support underneath here. So I'm getting a little bit more positive where we're at. And if we can kind of hold in this area, we've got some support through here as well at the top of these buyers and sellers through here. So we do see some buying pressure coming up and kind of forcing this back up. And I like seeing a wick at the bottom of multiple candles. That means that there's buyers providing support underneath it. We zoom into like a far closer map here. We do still have some selling pressure here. It's still there. So it's there, but in a little bit bigger picture view, we do have some candlesticks and reversals that were happening off the bottom here. So what I'd like to see is this to kind of hold and try to get some momentum to the upside. See if we can regain that a little bit. But we might have a couple of bounces here before doing that. So we might see some movement up and down sideways, kind of squaring up this momentum downward before we move on up. So it's getting a little bit, I see a little bit of positive glimpse. But again, it's still momentum downward. We have not reversed it. Bannerman, let me zoom back out. Here's the 1 year. Bannerman was down 5.57%, it looks like. Coming on up. We are still in a downtrend. We could still see further downside here. We're getting a little bit of wicks on the bottom. Hopefully we can. I wish this closed a little bit higher today. I thought it was going to. But we are still in a downtrend here. Here's Goviax, down 8%. What I'm looking for is what. Let me throw kind of we've got support over here. And we've got support in this section here. And that's what we're using. We're using this support and we're bouncing off the support. I'm hoping this support can hold. And let's zoom in on the right-hand side, see what we've got. There's the support line I drew. I kind of just drew it in there. We bounced off of it. We're hopefully finding some support. Maybe we can get a little bit of momentum here. Come on. Global Atomic. Looking at this guy. We got to zoom in a little bit. We got this ascending wedge kind of breaking to the downside there. There it is, breaking to the downside. We do have some wicks at the bottom, means some buyers are stepping in, and we're in this kind of pattern here, chopping sideways. And that's what you do. You have a downtrend, you have to chop sideways, kind of break that momentum, and then we are going to try to break this 330 level and close above it for a reversal. And hopefully that can happen. Looking at Forces Metals, we had a big bullish engulfing, a smaller down day next to it. It's called a bloody nose. This could reverse. It's looking better. Here at the 6 month, let's go 1 month. Zoomed way in, we had this nice big update, up movement here, 30-minute up movement coming on down, and it looks like we're trying to get above this line here. Let's hope the momentum can continue where we break on up and break the downtrend line. But Forces looks like it's trying here. Deep yellow, let's go to the 1 year. We broke out to the downside. We've got a nice good wick at the bottom here. It's small candlesticks, down 1.5% today, not too bad. Zooming in, we've got some buying pressure showing up. Buying pressure, some buying pressure. We had a little sell-off at the end of the day with some volume, so we'll see if that continues lower for tomorrow. And I'll throw a trend line in here, and we're trying to break the trend line. You can see that. We're trying, and we've got some support down here. Let's see if we can stick a good support level at about 69 cents, and if we can break and close above 72 cents. Sky Harbor. Here's the 1 year. We are down here below this resistance line. Zooming in on it. We haven't broken. We're still below it. So we still could have some downside left in Sky Harbor. Next Gen Energy. Next Gen on the 1 year, we had a descending wedge. Did not break it. We're chopping sideways all over the place. Let's zoom in on the right-hand side here. We do have a wick at the bottom, almost like this thing did a V-bottom. It kind of V-bottomed here, came up, bounced again. Let me look to the left-hand side. Oh, I zoomed way far too out. I'm willing to bet that we've got some good support through here. So if we look at this line going across, we've got support coming through here, and we're using that as support. We got a nice good kind of wick at the bottom here. Let's see if we can get some buyers to kind of hold this support line here over the next day or two. We're seeing wicks at the bottom. We're seeing some support here for Canalaska on the daily. Zooming in on it, we are still in a downtrend though. We tried breaking up and it was rejected. So we're still in the downtrend. We do have if this thing can hold, we do have a higher low that we might try to break through it again on the very short term. Base load, nice good bullish engulfing candlestick at the end of the day here. That looks good for a 30-minute candle. Looking at the 1 year, we still are kind of down here. Maybe this is all it can muster. I'm looking to the left to see if we have any support through here. I don't see too much. I mean, a little bit. But it looks okay. There's that little wick, the little hammer pattern right at the end of the day. That's and a bullish engulfing when you look at it from this perspective. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Fission 3.0, we're bouncing between support and resistance. We're bouncing all over, boom, 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 boom. But here it is from a little bit bigger picture view. We broke this uptrend line to the downside, and we're trying to break this downtrend line. Zooming in, this is the downtrend line. We popped up above it. It said, nope, 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 you're going back down. And it was like, okay, I'm going back down. So we're still in a downtrend for Fission 3.0 on the very short term. Fission, Uranium Corp, we're just popping on sideways between this resistance line. God, man, that's funny. I put this resistance line in here, and that's what we have to break for a new uptrend. And you could see this thing came up. It was going to try to break it in the morning, and it just got sold right back off and came right back to the other line of support. Crazy how I'm kind of almost predicting these levels to some degree. I'm not saying I'm that great, guys. But just crazy how these are doing it. This one's got a little bit more selling pressure. This could roll over again. So our leader, Camco, kind of the big guy, it is coming under pressure here. We could see a little bit further sell-off. Here's Kazatomprom. Looking at this guy again, we've got opposing views here. We've got a big sell-off, selling pressure. We came back up, and this movement on the right-hand side is bullish because it's got buying pressure, small sell-off, buying pressure, small sell-off, but you got this selling pressure right next to it. And sometimes these can roll over. So we've got a lot of buying pressure at the end of this day too. I'd just be patient here. Let's see what tomorrow brings us. Peninsula Energy, we're still in the downtrend. Just be patient. I haven't seen any movement to say anything different here. Boss Energy, it looks like we got a little bit of 92% up today, or I don't know what's going on. It probably needs to adjust the chart. So I'm going to skip that. Lotus Resources, on the 1 year, we're still in a downtrend. That's what it looks like. And I would be kind of just waiting for a downtrend to break. UROY. Looking at UROY, down 6.9% today. Let's do the 1 year. It is coming on down. It's still in a downtrend line, or in a downtrend. Is there anything that's going to reverse this thing? It's kind of a bigger sell-off. The buyers haven't stepped in yet, so just be patient. Be patient here. A little bullish engulfing. Maybe we can get some momentum to the upside and try to reverse it. But again, it's in a downtrend, and we are still moving lower at the moment. Encore Energy. We're getting a little bit of wicks on the bottom. That means buyers are coming in. They're buying this thing back up. That's a good thing. Let's keep zooming on in. Big buying pressure. The news sell-off. Buying pressure back up. A little bit of more selling pressure today, but we got a little bit of buying pressure at the end of the day. Hopefully we can get that momentum and continue it into tomorrow. UUUU. We got the buyer stepping in. This is a nice kind of like V-bottom if they can keep going. So that's UUUU kind of zoomed in. We're still below this pattern here. We broke out. We came back. It's getting all sloppy all over here. I don't know which way this thing's going to go. It can go either way. URG. Oh man, URG looked like it was doing... We broke to the downside of this big old pattern. We're in a downtrend line. It's still going. And we are waiting for this downtrend line to break. We're still in a downtrend. Uranium Energy Corporation, looking at the 1 year, we broke to the upside. We came back to do a return move. Up to you if you want to do a little bit of sprinkle fest on it. We're right at that support level right now. It looks like it's bouncing off support. Big volumes stepping in and buying it at the end of the day on the 30 minutes. So we came down, found support at that support line, and we're bouncing on up. Up to you on what you want to do. LEU, another sell-off today. I think we're still, if it's me, I wouldn't be doing anything with it. I'd be holding tight. It does not look like it's bottomed yet. And LTBR, this one also looks like it's got some selling pressure. I would not be jumping in yet, and we could see a back test to the breakout level. That's kind of what this is correlating to. The potential is there. ISO Energy. Looking at ISO Energy, a good strong sell-off today, guys. What happened here? Let's zoom in. I'm going to the 1 month. Came in, some good selling pressure, some more selling pressure at the end of the day. This could go lower. It could. Let's see if it can find some support underneath. Where's the support underneath it? Well, it's right at support. Let's see if it holds, because we got some support through here. Well, let's see if it holds. Appia Energy. Looking at Appia, do the 1 year, broke to the downside here. We have a big wick at the bottom here. That usually could be a reversal. If you're a brave soul, sometimes you can jump in on it. Man, on the 30-minute candlesticks, I still see some downside pressure maybe at the beginning of the day tomorrow. That's what these big selling pressure candlesticks are all through here. So I kind of hold off at the moment. I do like Appia on the long term, though. Denison Mines coming up into kind of this ascending wedge, breaking to the downside a little bit for Denison Mines. Denison, let's zoom in even more. Here's Denison, just descending wedge. Usually these break to the upside. It did not. We had the SPR release and news and all sorts of stuff over here. It's been chopping sideways. I don't see a clear direction or path on this one at the moment. Blue Sky Uranium. We're at the bottom at the support line. We're finding support there. Let's zoom in on it. We're right at the support line. And it's a battle between the buyers and sellers pushing this thing back and forth. I'd like to see it hold and contract down before me getting in and adding more money to it. Forum Energy Metals, a little bit of an update today. It's had a massive sell-off. Let's zoom all the way in on it. You can get a little bit of buyers in here. Maybe it's going to try to stage a comeback. If you guys have a little bit of contrarian blood in your veins and you want more of a higher risk exploration play, maybe take a look at it. 15 cents, it's pretty cheap. Laramide down 8.6% today. Looking at the 1 year, we broke to the downside. The pressure is still to the downside. Zooming in on it. We are still kind of just meandering down here, lost. I would say that there's pressure that can go either up or down here, but the overwhelming momentum is to the downside at the moment. So I would be patient. Let me hit 1 year on this just to see what the candlestick. We do have some candlesticks with the wicks at the bottom for Laramide down here. So there is buying pressure, there is support. I would say there's very good pressure at 58 cents with this recent bottom in here. So 58 cents is a good spot, I think, to look. And this could stage a rally or a basing pattern sideways here, consolidation pattern. So overall, I mean, we got to see buyers step in. And some of the charts, there's buyers are putting wicks on the bottom. That's kind of the first thing that you see. I do think we're very early if we are going to turn this around. I don't think we're just going to be rocketing higher here. I think we're going to have to turn this momentum and basically go sideways first, and then what some people call it is you square it up. You're coming down with the momentum, you square that momentum up, and then you can head higher. The momentum's still to the downside. So I'm waiting for that momentum to turn. I'm looking for candlestick patterns to show me that we're getting wicks on the bottom, bullish engulfings, and all those things. Some of the companies possess it, other ones do not. So we are still in a mixed bag. We could still have downside pressure, but I'm seeing some positive signs in some of the companies. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.